If you are here, welcome. We are discussing The Alchemy of Souls by Granger today, right now. And you either read it or you're going to read it. If you're going to read it, I will let you know before I drop the spoiler. If you just want to hear the spoilers regardless, be my guest, okay? Be my guest. This is book number 5, the Maggie Gray series. She is dropping 2 more books. It was mentioned at the end of book 5, so I am beyond excited about that. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start with my rating of this book. I'm gonna have to give this book a 5-star rating. Yes, a 5-star rating. Let me tell you why I gave it 5 stars. I genuinely love what this book had to offer. I felt like it delivered. I felt like we saw so much character development. I felt like we got a better understanding of the different worlds. I feel like book 6 is going to turn us up even more. Like, we're going to get even more from book 6. If I had to give this book 3 words to describe how it made me feel or just how I felt when I was reading it, I would definitely say intriguing, funny, overall just enjoyable. Like, it was an enjoyable read. Let's get more into it. One of the reasons I was so excited about this book is because I've been following this series. So I know the characters, I know most of their storyline, but I do feel like we really got some background information about Maggie's family. Right? We got to see Granger truly develop as an author. Book 1 versus book 5. Hold on. In life, if you're not developing and growing with everything you're doing, like, what are you doing? Right. But Granger, she really did that. Okay, y'all, I'm going to talk about the stuff that y'all really want to know about, which is the spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled and you don't want nothing to be spoiled for you, like, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. All right. Are you going? I know you stayed. Quan the cat is first freaking family. Can we talk about that? Like, that was one of the things that threw me for a loop in this book. I was not expecting him to be first family. That was just like oh my God. What? Quan is first family? Because I have been wanting to know Quan's story. I felt like we've been getting so much of Quan, the talking cat. Quan been missing, disappearing. Like, I'm over here thinking he out with some hoes. Meanwhile, he is the whole first family. Do y'all think he's going to break that curse by being honest with Isis and, break the curse of him being a nymph or a cat? Like, I wonder. Also, let's get into Susie and Harvey. I think Susie has finally met her match, and I like Harvey, and I know that he lied to her. I shouldn't be doing quotations because he did lie to her. Like, he lied on who he was, but I felt like it was to keep her safe. And sometimes you just fall in love with people that you just have no idea that you're falling in love with. And I feel like Susie and Harvey were not expecting those feelings to happen. But then, they just happened. And I love how Harvey he didn't care. He does not give a shit about what Susie got to say. He don't. He literally laughs at that. So I really like them together. Maggie. Maggie is now a bloodsucker. A blood drinker. Because she really only drunk her blood. But I'm excited to see who Maggie continues to develop into. I feel like we've been just getting so much of her growth and who she is as a person. And I really appreciated Namir being like, I'm going to allow you the space to step into your own because you and I both experienced something crazy. We both are trying to learn and figure out who we are. So you can figure you out. I'm going to figure me out. But, we're still together and we're going to make that work and all that stuff. And I really love that because I feel like in relationships, just in general, that's how it should be. Yeah, we can be up under each other and all that stuff. But at the same time, I'm still a person trying to figure myself out. And Maggie is just a vampire trying to figure herself out. She's Gaia. We got to meet Gaia. Like, even Ned, this whole book, this whole book. It was interesting, that whole scene, because for me, it felt like a spiritual awakening of being able to communicate and speak with your higher self, which in itself is a blessing if you're able to honestly communicate with your higher self and see where you are at your higher self. But the questions that she was asking Maggie, like, why are you the way that you are? Like, why are you afraid? What has happened? It just made me personally reflect on things or feelings that I felt in the past, and my higher self looking at me like, who are you right now? Do you not know who I am, who we are? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you feeling like this? So I appreciated that whole scene that Granger did of Maggie meeting Gaia, or herself. I just felt like she was just talking to herself at her highest self. Maggie's family we got to meet. We were introduced to Raven. Maggie was introduced to her cousins, to Trevor. What was so intriguing is at the beginning of the book, all Maggie's talking about is how she wants to get back to her lying ass mama. Hold on, we'll touch on that. She just wanted to get back to her mom and her grandmama and her dad. That was all she knew, all she wanted to get back to. She felt so alone, this, that, and the third. And then you get to the mid, well, not really the middle, but still the beginning. And her friends is like, kind of just like, yeah, I understand that, but we've been through a lot. Like, let's chill out on that. And then Maggie's like, bro, but I thought we was what we was. And then by the end of the book, not only does Maggie realize that she had her girls, her family, she has her mom back, her lying ass mama, but she also has a whole group of family members that she had no idea about. Raven's character had me dying, okay? Raven is Maggie's aunt, but she's in a child body. So she's like in a 9-year-old body. So just imagine some 9-year-old talking to you like somebody auntie. Like, go get my purse off the table in there. But they're 9. Hilarious. Raven had me dying in the whole book. Let's get into her lying ass mama. Her mom pissed me off so bad, because I cannot believe that you literally sat here and lied to your daughter when she was having all of these questions. Because I believe in the first book, she asked her mom about that stuff. And because her grandma was telling her about it, her grandma was saying, like, you know, putting some little stuff here and there so that Maggie would eventually go to the underground, meet, like, you know, Maggie would know the truth. And her mom was sitting there and really lying to her about that this whole time. And you're going to act so delusional, like you claim that you and Maggie had such a great relationship, but when you don't hear from your daughter and all that stuff, like, nothing is clicking. Did Maggie never see her mama cry? Maggie never saw her mama been crying them tears and saw the blood. I'm interested in seeing how her mom and her relationship end up playing out, because that was just that was a mess. Her mom is full of shit. I'ma just say it. And then the granny is in Savannah in the home. Like, shoot, the granny is who we need to be really talking to. You know, Poet is she got the words that we need to hear. Before I let y'all go, I'm excited about the next book, because I feel like we're going to get introduced to Asha's people, find out really where Asha came from, her story and all that stuff. I hope that we get some more information on Isis and Solomon, and even just Solomon in general, because the fact that the book ended with Marvin T. Holmes back in charge of the school, okay? But he was saying, like, thank you, Solomon. And Solomon was pretty much like, yeah, this is a loan, so you will pay me back. Like, you're in debt. And if you don't, I will own this school. So I need to know what's happening all of there, too. I feel like Namir still has a lot of soul searching and finding himself to do. So seeing how him and Maggie's relationship continued to develop, and it was so LOL how they were both trying to say, like, we'll talk about it. Like, Maggie, you knew that he wasn't the moon. He knew that she wasn't the moon. They didn't want to say it to each other. Like, it was just so interesting. I'm like, why are we being like shy with each other right now? Like, why are we doing this? But I guess when you ain't been with your man for what seemed like forever, even though for Maggie, it only felt like a day. It just, when they got back together, they both realized they weren't the same people. So I can see why it felt a little awkward, because it's like, yeah, we're about to have to learn each other all over again while we're still learning ourselves. But yeah, I appreciated this book. I would love to talk to y'all about it, because I just felt like we got so many goodies, and I'm just excited to see what y'all think. I would love to see your predictions for the next book, and maybe even book 7. This is my prediction. Let me give y'all my prediction and then we'll go. My prediction is Princess Aria is going to go back. She's going to get her sister, save her sister, but also it's going to be a little too late and the world is going to crack. Like, I mean, the barrier is going to break again, and that's 3 of them, meaning that there won't be a magic underground in the world anymore. It will be 1. I feel like we're going to meet all of Asha's family. We're going to learn Asha's true history, her truth, her story. We might even meet her mama, you know? We'll meet some of Asha people. I hope that we get some more answers to Solomon. I hope that we get some more stuff with Quan and Isis. And I hope that we continue to see the characters that we saw in this book, like Hamora and Trevor, which I know for a fact we will, because the witches, Southern 5 witches went, actually they're the Southern 6, but they went and was like, hey, my son is missing. I don't want what they want. And I feel like that son is Xavier. So we're definitely going to see Hamora. I feel like we're going to get a little bit of everything. So I'm excited. This book was a great book. People always say like this is a fantasy book, but you know what it reminds me of? It gives me the Maggie Gray series gives me an urban Twilight fantasy, not like urban Harry Potter fantasy. Because we don't see them really using like magic powers and all that stuff, but we do get a lot of drama, we get a lot of romance, we get a lot of trying to figure stuff out, we get werewolves, we got the witches, we got the nymphs, like we get all of that side of it. So that's the fantasy piece, but it's definitely a lot of family drama. We're learning characters, we're learning their history, we're learning about the underground, like. So I've seen people in the past say like it's giving like a Black Harry Potter, but no, it's giving urban Twilight. Yes. All right, y'all. I would love to know your thoughts. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to share and subscribe this video. It's Mariah B. Reading. I will see you guys next time.